experiment with truth.
Three things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. If you only tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Let me share few experiences of a fictitious, shy, and introvert kid. This kid, in spite of being warned by his family, was in bad company of his friends. His friends were very notorious, but he said that he would go them and reform them, but instead got transformed himself. Though hailing from a strict, traditional, vegetarian family, his friends taught him that if you have to be stronger, there is no other way but to eat meat. And there is no other alternative available. So this fellow had to lie every day to his mother and say cock and bull stories so as to skip dinner at his home. So he continued speaking lies day after day, again and again. His friends once took him to a brothel house. The bill was already paid. It was all pre-arranged. But then he could not go further. He was almost into the jaws of the sin. These group of people had that sort of pleasure in emitting those smoking of clouds from their mouth. They desperately wanted to smoke. But then they had no money. So then they have decided to steal from a servant's pocket money. And that too to buy cigarettes. This continued for a while. And then, as an act of awakening, filled with guilt, they suddenly thought that they should commit suicide. And again, they even feared death. So then they could not even commit suicide. Their attempt to commit suicide was unsuccessful after the lying, going to a brothel house, speaking lies, stealing, and whatnot. And then, later on, as he grew up, it was time for him to get wedded to someone. At that point of time, for him wedding was nothing more than wearing new clothes, eating a lot of sweets, and playing and meeting with relatives. He was like a lizard on the wall, living but looking dead. He was initially a jealous and a possessive husband, and sometimes he even used to beat his wife. During this time, he faced the biggest conflict between duty and desire. His father, who was ill, always needed someone to be attended to him. One night, while nursing his father, when massaging his legs, he suddenly slipped upstairs to share his wife's bed. Exactly after few moments later, his father died. The servant came running upstairs to inform that the father is no more. This person was shocked. He was as shocked as the bird landing on a live wire. He thought, my God, what have I done? The animal passion has blinded me. I should have been massaging my father and he would have died in my arms. And instead, what would I have done? And as he grew up and he went for abroad for his higher education, his mother died. Another tragedy in his life. But his family had not informed about this update to him. And when he came to know that, he felt like there was a deep hole drilled in his heart. He was dejected, disgusted, disappointed, and devastated. But who would have imagined that this shy, introvert, soft-spoken, disappointed kid one day went on to become the man who made simple truth and humility greater than the empires, the living legend, the living legacy, the great soul, the Mahatma. Every experience of Mahatma Gandhi was an experiment with truth and each of his experiment had its own results, good or bad. Learning to experiment is learning to fail, but also learning to lead. The truth is, the best method of attaining knowledge is by experimentation. All life is an experimentation. The more you do experiments in your life, the better you become. All great inspiration are nothing but an experiment. One who does not commit or do any experiments is a fool. And life is too short to not to do experiments. Everyone here in this hall today are mad scientists, and their life is their research laboratory. We are all trying here to experiment to find a way of life. How would you fend off the chaos and find happiness? Explore, to experiment, to experience and exceed the expectations. Because experience is the past, expectations is the future, but experiment is the present. Learning about Gandhiji and the Babu has taught me the one truth, that one person can make the difference. The person whom you all see every day in your mirror while brushing your teeth and combing your hair is the one who had to experiment and is the one who can make a difference. That is none other than you.